Today we are going to talk about how to use Xero for your music business, whether you're a musician, a recording studio owner, a record label executive. Either way, Xero is a great solution as an accounting software to use for that purpose. So I am Alexis Kimbrough. I am the lead accountant at Growth Group. You can visit us at growthgroup.com. We are an accounting firm that specializes in working with music businesses, whether they are, once again, recording studios, record labels, or the artists themselves. We also have some producers and other creative artists as well. So let's get started. So on this first page here, what you see is Xero's homepage. This is where you would log in. We're going to view a demo company to start off with, and that's going to give us some things to play with so that I can walk you through the software. So here on this first page is the dashboard, and what this does is it gives you a brief overview of everything that's going on in your business. So here on the left side, you will see the demo company has a checking account and also a savings account. And then you've got some cool tools here on the right side to watch some accounts to make sure you're not overspending, and then also bills and invoices as well. But we're going to go through a little bit of that later. So right now we're going to go ahead and look at what the actual bookkeeping process is mostly about, and that is managing the money that comes in and the money that goes out of your business. So here we're going to click on this blue reconcile button here. This is called a bank feed, and the bank feed is really just pulling in transactions that are in your bank account, and it's matching them to transactions that you've entered into Xero. So here on the left side, these are all transactions that are reading from your bank, whether that's Bank of America or a local bank. All of those transactions that are showing up on your bank account are also showing up here on the left side. On the right side are transactions that are in Xero. So if you've entered an invoice, let's say that you're waiting for an artist to pay your recording studios for hours that you worked with them for their rental, that kind of thing, all of those invoices are going to be sitting here on the right because you've entered them already. And so Xero's using its super smart technology and adding and matching up these items based on amount and also based on who's being paid. So here in our demonstration, we have Ridgeway University, and it looks like they paid us $6,000. And you see that it's green and it's giving us this OK button. When we go ahead and click OK here, it's going to reconcile that account balance. And so it's allowing us to match up those transactions. And so it's going into the account the proper way. And then here we see there's a check here for check number 1236. And that check is matching up to something that we have in Xero here that is showing the same amount. And so Xero doesn't know who your bank doesn't know who the payee is, but Xero already does because it's matched it up here. So we can go ahead and allow that transaction to go through as well by simply clicking OK. Sometimes Xero can't necessarily match exactly what's going on. So here we'll see that Smart Agency we've paid Smart Agency $4,500. So what we can do, if we know that transaction's already in Xero as a bill, we can go ahead and click Match here, click Find and Match. And then we see there's two bills from Smart Agency. When we click each of those and select them, it looks like we paid them, both of them, at the same time. And so we're just able to match those up to transactions, once again, that are already in Xero, and match those up and just simply click OK. The next thing you'll see here is that there's a question. There's this Discuss tab over here on the right. And what that's allowing us to do is, if you have questions for your accountant, which you often may have, what you're going to do is say, hey, this is a payment on a really old bin invoice and I wasn't sure what to do with it. And so we can go ahead and take a look at that and answer your question. And so I can say, I can respond to you and say, this should go into travel expenses. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and click save, and so that would go ahead and show you now what you're supposed to do with that transaction. So if you have questions, you can communicate with us directly in the software, and we can see the questions that you have on a specific transaction. For this next item here, it looks like we have a deposit, and we received that from, Xero Maple Systems. And so what we're going to do with that one is go ahead and just type it in because it doesn't look like there's a transaction. We can go and look for find and match. You're not seeing anything for that company. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cancel that. And so we're going to create a new transaction. So we're going to type in who it goes to, and we're going to, oh, there it goes. It's popping up already. We've used them before. And we can go ahead and say that this is sales because it's money that we received. So here you'll see received on the right and spent on the left. And we can say sales of CDs, right? Click OK. And then what you'll see here is that Xero has found out that this is Ridgeway Banking Corporation and that they're bank service charges. What that means is that we have done this type of transaction before and Xero's remembering it with its smart technology. So we go ahead and click OK once we realize that those are the same. The next thing here, once again, what we're going to do is go ahead and create a bank rule. And what that says is that if there's something that's repeating, for example, we know that we like to eat at Cooper Street Bakery quite often. So what we're going to do is click Create Rule. And what this will do is speed up the process when you're going through these so that each and every one doesn't have to be entered separately. So we're going to see here that we have a transaction. So we're going to when the payee, so who we paid, when that equals Cooper Street Bakery, then we're going to add that to an existing contact, and we're going to add in Cooper Street Bakery here. We're going to call it general expenses for this purpose. And for the description, we're going to put in meals. All right. So it's going to remember that, and we're going to click Save. So now when we go to reconcile our bank account, what we're going to see here is that Xero has now added in that Cooper Street Bakery right off the top. So we're going to go ahead and click OK. And you'll see right underneath it that 7-Eleven has that same thing going on where it's automatically categorizing all 7-Eleven transactions. Those are called bank rules. So those are things that can make the process of data entry much faster. Once again, we could create a transaction right on the main screen by just typing in who we're paying, adding what it is, and then telling them why. And clicking OK. And once again, you'll see that when you refresh the screen or when you do different things, it will automatically begin to categorize that. So we've seen quite a few transactions here. This is showing that we have a bill already in Xero, so we're going to click OK. So bank rules help with efficiency, but you can also add things right in the screen. If we have any questions, you guys can feel free to ask your questions right over on the directly in the chat box. There's a Q&A section, and you should be able to ask your questions there, and I'll answer those at the end of our session. We're going to go back here to our dashboard, and we're going to look here at the money that's going out of our account. So these are the bills that we need to pay. All right. So this, as you can see on the dashboard, this is giving us a cool little graph about, what monies to expect to be coming out of our account fairly soon. So let's look at some of these bills that we need to pay. Once again, we're getting that same look here for the upcoming payments that are going to be made. And so what we're going to do now is go ahead and add a new bill. Let's say we have something coming up here. Let's say you have rent to pay. It's close to the first of the month, right? So we're going to go ahead and add a bill, let's say from, we're just going to call it apartment complex. We're going to say, one of the cool things that I like about it is that you can add in words like today, and it will automatically add that. Date, and let's say it's due in 15 days. You can add a plus 15, or you can manually put that date in, or also select down in order to see a calendar view. We're going to add in rent, and we're going to say our rent is $1,000. There it is, there's rent. And we can also select, let's say that we have multiple locations or regions. We can say northeast, southwest. You can have different office locations, anything like that. We can go different. If you're operating out of different states, you can add all of those states there. But here we go with the north region, and we're going to click approve. And this is, once again, this is a new bill. So it's, rent is due on the 1st of the month. Or here in our example, we have it due on the 24th of the month. So we're going to go ahead and click approve. And what we're going to see next is that that bill is showing up with all of the other ones. And let's say, for example, that we actually have a bill, a physical bill from, a utility company or from the apartment complex. We can go ahead and click this little button here and add a file directly within Xero, and it will keep all of the files that we need. So once again, we are just simply clicking this file button, and you can upload files from your computer, or you can also add files that are already in this file library that you've emailed into Xero. So we could just simply upload a file from anywhere on our screen. The next thing we're going to take a look at is invoices. So this is money that's coming in. This is sales, this is cash, this is money that you have coming into your business. So revenue, the lifeblood of your business. So you definitely want to keep on top of invoices. So let's go ahead and take a look at invoices that are owed to us right now. And as you'll see, Xero gives us a snapshot here of what's overdue. We can see that City Limousines owes us some money. And this small business service owes us some money. And so it's showing us directly here what's due. And we can also go ahead and look at a pie chart of that. And so we can get a breakdown of what's going on. So we've got some cool little features here. And when you hover over them, you can see who owes you the most and how long they haven't paid. So City Limousines, it looks like we need to contact Martindale and find out why he hasn't paid us. And you can see his mobile phone number and things like that there. So even if you have an assistant, an office manager, or someone who is following up on invoices, they're able to see this type of information if you give them access. And another thing to say right now is that Xero allows you to have multiple users, and you can set the types of information that that user is able to see. So if you have an assistant or an office manager or an agent or anyone else that you want to be able to see certain information, you can add them as a user in Xero, and they can see that directly without being able to see everything. You can set up exactly what you want them to see. But here you can see our dashboard for invoices. That's money coming in. So we're going to go ahead and add a new invoice. One of the cool things about invoices, of course, is that you want to keep your branding consistent. And so Xero allows you to brand your invoices with your logo and colors and things like that that you would want within your branding so that you can stay consistent. So we're going to go ahead and add in an invoice. Let's say it's to growth group. And today, and we want it to be due in 14 days. Or we can say the first of the month, the first of the next month. And this is for, monthly accounting services, right? And let's say that's $1,000. And once again, this will be a sales account instead of a bill. So here we go. We know that we're selling accounting services like Growth Group does, and we're gonna go ahead and click approve. We can approve and add another one, approve and view the next one. We can approve and print it. Right now, we're just gonna go ahead and click approve. And once again, you can add files to this. So if there's an agreement that you had, a contract, anything that you want to keep there within that specific thing, you may. And so here I can click print to PDF. And what we're going to do, we're going to leave this as is for right now, but it's printing this invoice for us so that if we wanted to, we could, put it into another software or however it is. But I'll go ahead and let you see how the branding looks as well. So we're going to take a look here at this invoice. All right, so for this demo company, you see their bright orange logo here at the top. You're able to do that. You can also change different colors within this. And then you're also able to see that people can pay you online right now directly through Xero. So that's pretty sweet. It actually helps you get paid a lot faster. If you have inventory like CDs, etc., we're going to go ahead and edit this invoice just for the sake of what we're going through right now. And we're going to go ahead and add in some invoice items. So let's say, for example, that you sell CDs. What you're going to want to do is add inventory items. But for this company, we have black t-shirts, right? Merch, black t-shirts, right? And we're going to get one of them. Wow, these are $40. So these are like tour t-shirts, right? And let's say that this company is ordering 15 of them. Did you see that? It's warning me that I only have 5 on hand, even though I'm trying to sell 15. That's really important. You want to keep your inventory up to date, and Xero will help you know that you're doing something. Hey, don't sell more t-shirts than you have. This also lets you know that you need to reorder. So we're going to go ahead and say that we only have 5 black t-shirts, okay? And we can go ahead and update that, and that will keep our inventory up to date as well. So you've seen the printed invoice and what that looks like. I told you we can also add regions here. So if you have multiple locations, you can add in a region so that you can track directly, how even if you're tracking by employee sales, which employee is selling the most, etc. You can keep track of all of that there. Once you're ready to send this invoice off, you can email it directly from Xero. You can just add in that person's email address, okay? And we'll do it for right now. We'll send it to info@growthgroup.com. And you can include a PDF attachment, but I actually like to leave the PDF attachment off. The reason being, we're going to go ahead and send this, but the reason being is that when we go ahead and look at our invoices again, we have 2 things that we're going to see. There's a green check mark that shows up when somebody's actually viewed your invoice. So here you can see Growth Group, and you can see that, and you can see that this hasn't been sent yet. I guess I didn't click the send button. But once it's sent, it'll say viewed. And once you say viewed, you know that person has seen that invoice that you've sent, and they can now make payment, etc. And so now from this sales screen, you can see that we're able to track the ones that are overdue, the ones that are coming due, etc. If you want to add notes, like you actually talked to someone and they said they won't be able to pay until March 15th, we can add that in. Payment can't be made until, let's say, May 15th. So then we add in May 15th there and click save. And so that shows us our expected date there. And when we view the invoice, we'll also be able to see the note. We're back here on the dashboard, and one thing I want you to notice is this account watch list over here. That's so that you can keep track of certain expenses or sales numbers right here in a quick view versus having to drill down into anything else in order to see it. So if you know you want to keep an eye on how much you're spending on advertising, we can see that we spent $10,000 on advertising this year, and we've got $27,000 of sales this year. You can see those directly from this screen. If you have office equipment, computer equipment, instruments, recording equipment, all of that kind of stuff goes into a fixed asset. So we clicked here on accounts and then fixed assets. And we can add in coffee table for the reception area or a computer desk, anything like that. Recording equipment, again, all of that can go here. If it's a furniture, a fixture, you know, anything like that, cars, vehicles, they can all go in here when you purchase them, and they will show up in your accounting records as well. And then the fun part, when you want to see what's really going on in your business, what you need to look at is your income statement. What's coming in, what's going out. Here for the demo company, we have the income statement. And we can see that we're at $5,000 of sales already in the first 9 days here in April. And last month, it looks like we were at 8,000 for the month. And so this shows us a general overview of exactly what happened in the business in the last couple of months. There's various options. We can look at the year to date. So it would take everything from January till now. We can look at a certain month. We can look at the whole year. We can look at the actuals versus the budget. And remember when we had those regions, those multiple locations, we can even compare the different regions and how they're doing. So this is showing us a comparison of this year versus last year. There's a huge bump. Looks like we've had a great year. Any of these expenses that you want to look at, like, man, how did we spend $10,000 this year in advertising? You can click directly on that number that you have inquiries about, and that drills down into the specific items that we've paid for that account. So that's important to know when you're wanting to see, hey, what was spent? Why does that look so high? Anything like that. So once you're ready, you can always click publish here, and this is like saving that piece of time. So publishing is storing it in a file cabinet, an electronic file cabinet forever, and then you can always view any of the published reports. Another really cool thing about Xero is that you can go ahead and budget directly in the software, and later on look at the actual versus the budgeted numbers. And so what we have here is a budget manager, and it's going to bring up all of your different accounts, so your sales, your costs, your advertising, and you can book those out months and months in advance. So you can look at 12 months at a time. You can look at the actuals for 3 months. Many of our clients, we go through this with them each month to view their budget for the upcoming month and to review what happened the previous month to make sure that they're staying on track with their goals. So this is a really valuable feature that Xero also provides. And if that's not enough, anything that Xero doesn't have, there's this really cool thing called add-ons. And add-ons allow you to link other things that are outside softwares that you want to pull into Xero. This can be your contacts, this can be your Square account or your PayPal account. All of those types of things can focus right into Xero, and so it has numerous add-ons. I would exhaust you if I tried to go through all of them, but there's a whole marketplace of add-ons that Xero has. Everything from Square. So if you're doing merch live and you're taking credit cards and things like that, it can pull in the transactions from there. Everything from payroll to contacts and systems, all are available in the Xero marketplace as well. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for your interest in Xero.